Right now on News 3 This Morning Sunday, hundreds of people are dead and hundreds more are missing after a tsunami hits Indonesia. Plus, a partial government shutdown is still underway this morning and it will stay that way through Christmas. We'll have the very latest. And just 2 days before Christmas, how postal workers are doing their best to get your Christmas packages delivered on time.
This is News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning Sunday. It is December 23rd. I'm Josh Breiter. Chris is off enjoying some time with his family in Kentucky. So we've got the chief then, meteorologist Gary Canelti, in this morning. Gary, good morning to you.
Good morning. We're just picking names out of hats.
Yeah, every day there's a different person.
That's right. But, you know, the nice thing I think about this Christmas holiday is that the weather will stay pretty quiet, at least leading up to the holiday for people who are traveling over the next couple of days. We do have an alert day in the forecast, though, for Wednesday night for the potential for some light snow or freezing rain. That could mix in for a time and cause some slippery travel conditions, maybe some minor snow accumulations north of Madison, but then that will change to rain on Thursday. Today, just some scattered snow flurries moving through central Wisconsin. That'll affect us off and on through the day, but they should be out of here by early this evening. Most of the flurries right now are north of Wisconsin Dells. Temperatures are right around the 30-degree mark. These temperatures will hold nearly steady through the morning hours. Winds right now, not terribly strong, but they will pick up a little bit later, and wind chills that are in the 20s now will probably drop into the upper teens, even though temperatures will stay in the 30s. So look for those temperatures to gradually climb into the middle 30s by late afternoon, calling for a high of 35 degrees with just a chance for some scattered flurries. And then after that, look for clear skies for tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at first alert traffic, things pretty quiet. This is a busy travel day, of course, tomorrow being Christmas Eve, but things right now pretty quiet on the roads around Madison, the interstate south and east of Madison, I-3990 down toward Beloit, I-94 toward Milwaukee, in good shape. Seeing just a little bit of a slowdown southbound on US 12 south of Sauk City. Otherwise, look for generally quiet travel conditions. Traffic, of course, will pick up with time as we head through the morning, and that is your first alert traffic.
Good to see the weather good leading up to Christmas.
Good timing for that.
All right, Gary, thank you.
Sure.
New this morning, rescues are underway in Indonesia as hundreds of people are dead following a tsunami there. Their disaster management agency says last night tsunami left at least 222 dead, 843 injured, and 28 are still missing. Officials say those numbers may still rise since not all affected areas have been reached. Scientists say the tsunami could have been caused by undersea landslides or those occurring above sea level on the volcano's steep outside slope following the eruption. Madison police are searching for 2 suspects this morning after a robbery at McDonald's. Police say it happened just before 11 last night at the McDonald's on Regent Street. The 2 suspects had their faces covered when they went into the McDonald's and ran to the back office where they grabbed some money and ran out of the restaurant. Police say no one was injured and no weapon was shown. Also new overnight, 1 suspect is in custody and police are searching for another after an attempted home burglary. Madison police say it happened around 9:45 on Gulseth Street. Police say the homeowner saw 2 people going through his vehicle in the garage. That's when he chased the suspects and was able to catch one of them. The homeowner saw the other suspect holding what he thought was a gun and yelling to let go of his friend. The homeowner did not, and when officers arrived on scene, they took that suspect into custody. Police are still searching for the other suspect. Right now, it looks like Christmas will be over and done with before the federal government will have a chance to get fully back to business. Even a temporary measure to end a partial shutdown seems out of reach until the Senate returns for a full session Thursday. President Trump wants money for a border wall with Mexico, and Democrats oppose that. The partial shutdown began Saturday and has limited impact over the next few days because both Monday and Tuesday are federal holidays. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said he will not hold any more votes until a bipartisan agreement is reached.
We push the pause button until the president, from whom we will need a signature, and Senate Democrats, from whom we will need votes, reach an agreement. No procedural votes, no test votes.
President Trump is demanding billions of dollars for an expensive, ineffective wall that the majority of Americans don't support.
Vice President Pence was on Capitol Hill Saturday trying to make a deal with the Senate Democrats, but little progress was made. The Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island plan to stay open during the shutdown. New York's governor says the state would pay $65,000 a day to fund the National Park Service personnel and the cost of operations during the shutdown. The state has done the same during previous shutdowns. The National Park Service says Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty National Monument have a yearly economic output of $364 million and support 3,400 jobs. NORAD also plans to track Santa despite that government shutdown. The organization has been tracking Santa for the past 63 years. It's run out of Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado Springs. The military personnel who track Santa are supported by 1,500 volunteers. If you'd like to track Santa on his journey, we have a link on channel3000.com. On the job without pay during the busy holiday travel stretch, TSA agents are working to keep travelers moving during this partial government shutdown. TSA agents are part of nearly 420,000 federal employees who are considered essential and therefore expected to work unpaid. Another 380,000 federal employees will be furloughed.
I sure appreciate them doing it. It must be kind of weird to know you're working and not getting paid.
In a statement, the TSA said travelers will see no difference in security at any level. That means from the agents who screen bags to their canines who walk the checkpoint lines. And now to our roads, where a record-breaking 112 million Americans are traveling this holiday week. That's up nearly 4.5% over last year. More than 1/3 of all Americans will be traveling, the highest number since AAA began tracking holiday travel. An improving economy and cheap gas prices are the main reasons AAA expects that number to grow. In Madison, a gallon of regular dropped once again overnight, sitting now at about $2.12 this morning, but some prices as low as $2.03 per gallon, depending on where you stop. We even saw $1.99 in Janesville. Stores in Madison are staying extra busy, with some staying open around the clock until Christmas Eve. Twigs at Hilldale is helping people find that last-minute gift. Across the country, financial experts expect stores to bring in over $24 billion in sales this weekend, outpacing any other shopping weekend, including Black Friday. For some, this weekend is the first time they could even think about buying gifts.
I'm a student here at UW-Madison, and I just got done with finals on Thursday, so I wasn't really thinking about shopping for my family, so I figured I had to do it sometime.
Small and independent bookstores are reporting better than average sales this year. That's according to the American Booksellers Association. These type of stores fell by 40% between the mid-90s and 2009, but they have recovered some of those closures. Sales are up more than 5% over a year ago. There is a special pop-up bookstore hoping to attract people in Madison. 702 WI is located at 702 East Johnson Street. Organizers say they're selling everything from books to crafts. They've also seen more interest in reading throughout the year.
There's been an increase in people buying books at the events, and that's part of why we decided to do a more full-time pop-up for a few days to let people have the chance to come in here when we're not just open for an event. And I think part of that is people are excited to kind of escape to a different world, whether that's through fiction or nonfiction.
The pop-up store will continue through tomorrow. Postal workers are doing their best to get your Christmas packages delivered on time. According to the United States Postal Service, this is the busiest week for mailing, shipping, and delivery. More than 200 million packages are expected to be delivered this week. Our Maddie O'Neill has more from here at home.
It is a last-minute gift.
They're Christmas presents Samuel Freeman picked out for his nieces out of state, so he's doing what he can to get them there.
It's another holiday where we just try to make the best of it. Yeah, especially family time, that's number one.
He's battling crowds at the post office.
I came Thursday night, and that line was to the door.
Doing his part to send the gifts on their way.
Hopefully the Postal Service does their part.
The last minute.
Dropping off your packages at the post office is just the first part of its journey. It still has a ways to go, but it won't be alone.
It can get pretty heavy.
In the weeks leading up to Christmas, last-minute packages like Freeman's fill carrier bags.
It's pretty crazy.
And trucks.
You kind of do what you got to do to make it all fit in the truck.
As they tag along with mail carriers like Kayla Lightnin.
At the end of the day, it's a really good feeling when the truck is empty.
Lightnin stays out until that truck is empty.
It's second nature.
So her familiar routes
We get to know names and
take a bit longer this time of year.
Oh, big time. I mean, you go from having, you know, usually pretty close to an 8-hour day every day, and then you're tacking on a couple hours that day. It gets pretty wild.
She's picking up the pace.
Well, one, you gotta stay warm. You know, you gotta keep moving to get it done.
All so she can do her part to get gifts home for the holidays.
As long as they receive it, that's all that really matters.
In Madison, Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
U.S. Postal Service carriers ask that you keep your porch lights on to make this busy time of year a little easier for them. Some good news here. The Lodi Public Library will be reopening the day after Christmas. It has been closed since December 12th when mold damage was found during a remodel of the basement. A professional mold removal team was hired immediately to address that issue. They say the most recent air quality tests came back clean. The Packers have one last chance to earn a win on the road this season. The Packs 0-7 away from Lambeau Field and have never gone 0-8 on the road since the NFL switched to a 16-game schedule 40 years ago. Aaron Rodgers continues to say he'll start the rest of the season, even though there's no chance of the Pack making the playoffs this year. The Pack will be without another offensive lineman as they announced tackle Jason Spriggs will not play due to a concussion. Their opponent today is the 4-10 New York Jets, who haven't won at home since mid-October. Kickoff is set for noon on Fox. The Badgers continue to show why they are ranked number 16 in the country. Yesterday afternoon, Wisconsin took on Grambling State. Ethan Happ grabbed his 1,000th career rebound, and Bucky went on to win this one, 84-53. 11 Badgers scoring in this game. The team will spend Christmas with their families before playing at Western Kentucky next Saturday. It is just about 6:42 this morning, and it is a breezy start to this Sunday morning. Here's a live look outside to start us off as we wake up. Some pretty skies out there. And here's the big question many of you are still asking us. Could we see some snow in time for Christmas? Gary will have those answers coming up in his First Alert forecast. Plus, home for the holidays. How moments with family are extra special for U.S. service members. This is News 3 This Morning, Sunday.
It's a little chilly on the backyard patio, but all in all, this is the kind of weather you want just before the Christmas holiday. Quiet weather. And in fact, skies have actually cleared overhead, at least for the time being. But as we take a look at Doppler track, there are some snow flurries up to the north as clouds roll back in across the northern parts of our viewing area. And we will see the chance for some flurries during the day. Those extend back into Minnesota, but temperatures will be in the mid-30s, so nothing is expected to accumulate. Snow depth right now, well, you can see who's going to have a green Christmas this year, and it's pretty much most of southern Wisconsin, even the northern parts of the state where there's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's less than 3 inches. Most areas only an inch or less. You really have to get up near the UP of Michigan, the far northern parts near Lake Superior before you see any significant snow on the ground. Computer models showing very little snow before then, maybe just a couple of tenths of an inch just to our north and west. During the day on Christmas, we could see a little bit of snow, then some mixed precipitation on Wednesday night. Will change to snow in the far northern parts of the viewing, or the far northern parts of Wisconsin. We'll see mainly rain here with perhaps some minor snow accumulations Friday night into Saturday. But if you are traveling to the north, keep that in mind. The European computer model, a little more aggressive. You can see this is, again, late this week from Thursday into Friday. The northern parts of Wisconsin could get walloped with a pretty heavy snowstorm, assuming that most of that precipitation stays in the form of snow there. So that rain-snow line is going to be critical. But here in the southern part of the state, things pretty quiet, at least for now. But Wednesday night, we could see some light snow or freezing rain. That's why we have an alert day in the forecast. For this morning, look for mostly cloudy skies. It'll be breezy with a few flurries. Temperatures holding nearly steady in the lower 30s. High this afternoon, 35 degrees. Again, a chance of flurries. And it'll be a little breezy through the day. Tonight, evening flurries will end. Then it'll turn partly cloudy and colder overnight with a low temperature of 21. For tomorrow, Christmas Eve, mostly sunny with a high of 33. It'll turn cloudy with a few flurries tomorrow night. And then Christmas Day, look for some light snow, a high of 36. Could be mixed with a little bit of rain in the afternoon. If there are any snow accumulations, though, they'll be mainly north of Madison. As we look at future track, you can see the clouds, perhaps a few flurries during the day today, highs mid-30s. Tonight, the clouds in the evening will go away. We'll see partly cloudy skies overnight with lows in the lower 20s. Christmas Eve, plenty of sunshine, high temperatures in the lower 30s. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, though, those temperatures are going to warm up in the latter part of the week as we see mainly rain Thursday and Friday. Again, that'll change the snow late Friday night into Saturday. Then as we head toward New Year's, maybe some light snow chances on Sunday, and then just breezy and seasonably cold for the New Year's holiday itself. High temperatures will be in the mid-20s to around 30 degrees. So once we get past that big storm, Josh, things should improve for the New Year's holiday.
All right, good news, Gary. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is now 6:48 this morning. The holidays are a time to reconnect with family and loved ones. For U.S. service members, trips home are especially precious. This year, some of the reunions have been caught on camera, and as you might imagine, they quickly go viral. Polo Sandoval has that story.
A visit to Santa Claus.
So, what would you like for Christmas?
For my dad to come home.
Turned into a special delivery for these two Minnesota sisters.
Daddy!
Their father, a soldier stationed in Kuwait, surprised his daughters just in time for Christmas. It's among the many emotional reunions caught on camera between military members and their families this holiday season. A Wisconsin boy's older brother serving in the Army.
There's your brother!
What's up, buddy? Surprised him at school with a big hug after 5 months apart. The soldier then marched down the hall to his other sister and brother.
It made me feel warm inside.
In this viral video, a little boy presented with a large Christmas gift.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't even have an idea yet.
I think you're gonna like it.
Inside the box, a loved one in military fatigues.
Oh my God!
The person who posted this wrote, "My nephew got to unwrap the only Christmas gift he asked for a few days early." A small army of family members kept this airman from even getting through the door in Sacramento.
What the heck?
Surprise! And finally, at a Christmas choir concert in Indianapolis, an unexpected interruption.
Miss Avery Hinton, you have a present under the tree.
It led to a mother serving in the Navy embracing her daughter just in time for Christmas.
It's been a really long year, and so many things have happened, and I've just missed her so much. And it just makes this Christmas extra special for surprising me.
For some of these service members, another deployment could be next. But For now, the current marching orders include being home for the holidays.
Still to come this morning, a Wisconsin community is rallying together to try to make the holidays a little more special for a local baker who gives back to those in need. The news is back in the morning on News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Your time is 6:53. We do have some snow flurries up across central and northern Wisconsin that are drifting southward. We'll see them off and on through the day today. Right now, most of those are confined to areas up toward La Crosse and north of Wisconsin Dells. Temperatures are right around 30. It's actually a couple degrees colder to the west where skies have at least temporarily cleared out, but then when the clouds move back in, temperatures will be back to around 30. You can see those winds generally out of the west, and they'll increase to about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So wind chills that are in the 20s this morning will drop off pretty quickly. Otherwise, temperatures over the next 12 hours will slowly climb into the middle 30s by later this afternoon. After the clouds start to clear later on tonight, temperatures will drop off a little bit more rapidly. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. An eastern Wisconsin bakery owner has raised tens of thousands of dollars in recent years for victims of natural disasters around the nation. As Shirley Discorbeth shows us, there's now a new effort to help the woman who has helped so many others.
The goal of Jennifer Clark has always been to make a difference.
We've been collecting for the female veteran shelter. So we're taking baskets there on Christmas Eve. And then we'll take treats down to Cottage 16, the homeless vet shelter in Union Grove. We'll take those down on Christmas Day as well.
As the owner of Jen's Sweet Treats, a bakery in Cudahy, she has her hands full. Her nearly 20-year-old Grand Caravan isn't making it any easier with its long list of problems.
Bad head gasket, The heater doesn't work, the defrosters don't work. It overheats on a daily basis.
She uses it for deliveries, but sometimes just getting from point A to point B is impossible.
I was stuck at Southbridge Mall yesterday. I went to go Christmas shopping and it overheated and then wouldn't start.
So now, those who know and love her are hoping others will be there for her. They've created a GoFundMe page to raise money for a new car, one she can't depend on.
Done work on her vehicles when she was in need, and over the time, it's just not an adequate vehicle for her business, and I think that as a community, we could help her out.
Oh, a new car would mean that I don't have to worry about it, you know, starting at 2 in the morning when I leave for work, or you know, when I go to do my deliveries, you know, do I have to pray that once I drop this family off, is it going to start at the next family's house?
Right now, Jen's GoFundMe page is almost to $700. The goal is to raise $10,000 for her to get a new vehicle. Bucky Badger is spreading some holiday cheer. Earlier this week, Bucky visited the University of Wisconsin Carbone Cancer Center. He met and took pictures with patients who are battling cancer. 6:56 is your time right now, and there's a full hour of real news ahead right here on News 3 This Morning Sunday. The day's top stories are just ahead, but first, here's a preview of what's to come this morning on an all-new For the Record.
Good morning, I'm Neil Heinen, and today on For the Record, we're going to look at the first year of Madison's Day Resource Center for people who are homeless, the Beacon. It's a major new addition to the services our community provides to people who are homeless. And my guests are Catholic Charities President and CEO Jackson Fonder and Beacon Lead Guest Services Specialist Joel Gerard. That's coming up this morning at 10:30 on WISC.
Right now on News 3 This Morning Sunday, when it comes to your health, we'll tell you why one local woman says you need to trust your gut.
This is News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Good morning, happy Sunday, and welcome back to News 3 This Morning Sunday. It is December 23rd. I'm Josh Breiter. Gary has the latest holiday forecast in just a moment, but first here's what's making news this morning. Rescue efforts are underway in Indonesia after hundreds of people were killed following a tsunami. The Disaster Management Agency says the last night's tsunami left at least 222 dead, 843 injured, and 28 are still missing this morning. Officials expect those numbers to rise. Scientists say the tsunami could have been caused by undersea landslides or those occurring above sea level on the volcano's steep outside slope following the eruption. Right now, it looks like Christmas will be over and done with before the federal government will have a chance to get fully back to business. President Trump wants money for a border wall with Mexico, and Democrats oppose that. The partial shutdown began yesterday and has limited impact over the next few days because both Monday and Tuesday are federal holidays. A record-breaking 112.4 million Americans are traveling this holiday week. AAA says that's nearly a 4.5% increase over last year. An improving economy and cheap gas prices are the main reasons AAA expects such a large number. In Madison, a gallon of regular is at about $2.12 this morning, but some prices are as low as $2.08 per gallon depending on where you stop. In Janesville, we found some stations at $1.99. Some good news there and some more good news with that forecast, Gary. Looks like it'll be all smooth heading off to Grandma's house.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a problem today, tomorrow, or for Christmas Day. Where we may run into some issues would be on Wednesday night with some light snow or freezing rain possible as the storm system moves in. That could lead to some slippery road conditions and maybe some minor snow accumulations north of Madison. That will change over to rain on Thursday, but again, that's another busy travel day, so keep that in mind. Today, just some scattered flurries up in central and northern Wisconsin, dropping through the southern part of the state. Right now, most of those north of Wisconsin Dells over toward Camp Douglas and La Crosse, those will be moving through parts of southern Wisconsin during the day. Temperatures right now, right around 30, give or take a degree or two either way, and I don't think those temperatures will move very much this morning. But notice the winds out of the southwest to our east, shifting to the west as a cold front moves through southern Wisconsin. Wind chills right now generally in the 20s to around 30, but as those winds pick up, notice they drop off in the teens farther out to the west. Temperatures this morning will slowly climb into the middle 30s by late this afternoon. Look for just a few scattered flurries through the day. As we take a look at first alert traffic, right now things are pretty quiet. There is a little bit of a slowdown right around Verona Road and the Beltline. Also a little bit of a slowdown southbound on the US 12 in Middleton. As far as the road south and east of Madison, things pretty good shape there. North and west of Madison saw a couple of delays on US 12. Looks like those have since dissipated, but again, travel will pick up later on this morning. That's your first alert traffic.
Gary, thank you. Time right now is 7:03. New this morning, Madison police are searching for two suspects after a robbery at a McDonald's. Police say it happened just before 11 last night at the McDonald's on Regent Street. The two suspects had their faces covered, went into the McDonald's, and then ran to the back office where they grabbed some money and ran out of the restaurant. Police say no one was injured and no weapon was shown. Also new overnight, one suspect is in custody and police are searching for another after an attempted home burglary. Madison police say it happened around 9:45 on Gulseth Street. Police say the homeowner saw the two people going through his garage, actually his vehicle in his garage. That's when he chased the suspects and was able to catch one of them. The homeowner saw the other suspect holding what he thought was a gun and yelling to let go of his friend. The homeowner did not, and when officers arrived on scene, they took that suspect into custody. Police are still searching for the other one. Postal workers are doing their best to get their Christmas packages delivered on time. According to the United States Postal Service, this is the busiest week for mailing, shipping, and delivery. More than 200 million packages are expected to be delivered. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, last-minute packages fill carrier bags and trucks as they tag along with mail carriers like Kayla Lightnin.
Big time. I mean, you go from having, usually pretty close to an 8-hour day every day, and then you're tacking on a couple hours that day. It gets pretty wild.
U.S. Postal Service carriers ask that you keep your porch lights on to make this busy time of year a little easier for them. Small and independent bookstores are reporting better than average sales this year. According to the American Booksellers Association, these types of stores fell by 40% between the mid-90s and 2009, but they have recovered some of those closures. Sales are up more than 5% over a year ago. There is a special pop-up bookstore hoping to attract people in Madison right now. 702 WI is located at 702 East Johnson Street. Organizers say they're selling everything from books to crafts. They've also seen more interest in reading throughout the year.
There's been an increase in people buying books at the events, and that's part of why we decided to do a more full-time pop-up for a few days to let people have the chance to come in here when we're not just open for an event. And I think part of that is people are excited to kind of escape to a different world, whether that's through fiction or nonfiction.
The pop-up store will continue through today. A fundraiser through the Madison Metropolitan School District has raised enough money to pay off all negative school lunch balances. It was started by the HR department with staff hoping to raise $500 on their Facebook fundraiser. That goal was quickly met, and as of this morning, donations stand at more than $25,000. The money will go to paying off the free and reduced lunch balances for more than 1,500 students. You can also help donate to negative food accounts at any time by contacting the district. Some more good news here. The Lodi Public Library will be reopening the day after Christmas. It's been closed since December 12th when mold damage was found during a remodel of the basement. A professional mold removal team was hired immediately to address that issue. They say the most recent air quality tests came back clean. As we approach the start of 2009, a lot of us are probably going to make a commitment to refocus on our health. Sometimes prioritizing that means trusting your gut and asking more questions. That's the message Ellie Feldman wants to share, and our Susan Simon shares her story.
I was born about a mile from here in the Vilas neighborhood.
Everything was falling into place for Ellie Feldman. Her own home, her rescue dog Charlie, and a successful real estate business.
I went to Franklin Randall Hamilton West High School, graduated from UW with a business degree, and started in real estate then.
Ellie works full-time and never had a health problem. So when she started feeling tired at 25, it was unusual.
I started going to the doctor and getting blood work done because I was so tired and I really wanted to find answers.
So you didn't just think it was your life. You thought maybe something was not right.
Yeah, I thought maybe hormones or thyroid, something was going on because I felt like I was too young to be that tired.
Over and over again, the blood work showed nothing was wrong.
I started noticing if I had like a glass of wine or a cocktail, I would get like severe jaw pain. Sometimes it was in my back and my neck too. It was just this like achy pain.
A thyroid ultrasound is what finally revealed Ellie's lymph nodes were enlarged.
They put me in the CT scanner, and within a half hour or so of getting home, I had a call from my primary care, and she said, "We think you have lymphoma."
But what was your reaction?
I think I couldn't believe it. I started pacing. I kept thinking, like, this can't be happening to me. How is this happening to me? What am I going to do? How am I going to find out what it is? Am I going to have chemo? Am I going to survive? I mean, I felt scared.
Ellie was diagnosed with stage 2A Hodgkin lymphoma, a cancer affecting 8,000 people a year.
Hodgkin lymphoma is a specific type of lymphoma, which is a cancer of the immune system.
Dr. Christopher Fletcher is Ellie's oncologist at the UW Carbone Cancer Center.
Predominantly, these are going to be young patients, but there is actually what we call a bimodal distribution, which is a very scientific way of saying it happens to people who are very young and then 60 and up.
Dr. Fletcher says the diagnosis in healthy young people like Ellie often leads to confusion, but with the right treatment, patients have a lot of success.
I try to be careful and not use the word that this is a good cancer, right, for an individual that's going through it. That doesn't feel like a good thing.
I was there when she got the call from her doctor, and she was out on the porch pacing back and forth, so I joined her, and I'm very good at pacing as well, so we paced back and forth together.
If the Feldman name sounds familiar, Ellie is Michael Feldman's daughter.
I'm very proud of her, and I actually feel better about myself and my life, and that if something like this happens to me, I can deal with it. You know.
The Madison radio personality has been by his daughter's side, making her laugh and admiring her courage.
I know this much about Ellie, is that she's She has situations where things seem to be going all the way down. You can do what you always do. You are so confident at dealing with these situations that you find yourself in where you feel like, you know, I don't know what to do, but you really do know. Her competence is amazing.
As a way to help others and herself, Ellie is sharing her cancer journey on social media.
I'm someone that when I'm going through something hard, I like to reach out to others for support, and I feel less alone.
In regular updates, she shares her feelings and her discoveries, like the cold cap that's saving her hair.
The best thing about the cold capping is that I don't have to walk around looking like a cancer patient to other people.
Absolutely.
No.
Halfway through her treatment now, Ellie is thankful she trusted her gut.
I felt really lucky that I found it, and I found it when I did. So the narrative in my head this whole time has been, I'm so lucky.
When will you be done? Do you have it marked on your calendar?
Yes.
What's
February 25th or 26th. Right before my 28th birthday is March 2nd. So.
Oh, that's going to be the best birthday present ever.
I'm going to have a screw cancer and happy 28th birthday party, I think, in March. So.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society has an active chapter in Madison. We have a link with more information on our website, channel3000.com. 11 minutes past 7 o'clock right now. Still ahead this morning, we're getting into the Christmas spirit as we go backstage of the CTM production of A Christmas Carol. That's when News 3 This Morning Sunday continues.
Things are quiet this day before the Christmas holiday starts, and it looks like the weather will stay quiet through Christmas Day, although a little light snow is possible on Christmas Day itself. We do have to watch out for Wednesday night after Christmas. A big storm system will affect us with the possibility for some light snow or freezing rain for a time Wednesday night. There could lead to some minor snow accumulations north of Madison, but that will change over to rain pretty quickly in the day on Thursday, and we'll see mainly rain on Thursday and Friday with a changeover back to snow Friday night. On Doppler track, just some flurries this morning, mainly across southern Minnesota, central and northern Wisconsin. Those will drift in the southern part of the state later on. Snow cover right now pretty limited for the northern half of the state, less than a couple of inches. Most areas less than an inch. It's going to be a green Christmas across much of the Midwest. But take a look at the snowfall potential. This is mainly from Thursday afternoon into Thursday night and Friday and perhaps early on Saturday for the northern portion of Wisconsin. They could see a pretty hefty snowfall there according to the European computer model. Here in southern Wisconsin, perhaps just an inch or two of snow, mainly as we head from late Friday afternoon into Friday night. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Skies have actually cleared out for a time. Right now the temperature is 31 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour, so no wind chill to speak of. Across the country, a fairly big storm system in the Pacific Northwest will turn into our weather maker for Wednesday. But other than some snow in the mountains and rain along the coast, much of the rest of the nation is quiet this Christmas day before Christmas Eve. There is a weak cold front to our north and west that's generating the flurries. That will lead to some colder weather, especially as you move into the northern portions of the Midwest. Our forecast calls for skies to be mostly cloudy this morning. It'll be breezy with a few flurries. Temperatures holding nearly steady in the 30s. Our high this afternoon, 35 degrees. It'll be breezy with a chance of flurries as well. Tonight, any evening flurries lend. Then it'll turn partly cloudy and colder with a low temperature of 21. And for tomorrow, Christmas Eve, mostly sunny. High temperature at 33. Maybe a few flurries tomorrow night. Christmas Day Tuesday, a high of 36 with some light snow, perhaps up to an inch of accumulation, mainly north of Madison. From Madison southward, there could be some rain mixed in with the snow in the afternoon. On future track, look for cloudy skies, a few flurries during the day today, highs mid-30s. For tonight, look for the cloudy skies to give way to partly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures dropping into the lower 20s. And for Christmas Eve, look for plenty of sunshine. High temperatures will be in the lower 30s. The 7 to 10 day forecast calls for those temperatures to climb into the lower 40s for Thursday and Friday with rain after that mix of freezing rain, snow, and rain Wednesday night. And then we change back to light snow on Friday afternoon into Friday night. Could be some minor accumulations there. Some flurries Saturday, some snow showers or flurries Sunday. The New Year's holiday should be pretty quiet. Maybe a chance of flurries on New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day will be dry. Midnight temperature should probably be in the middle 20s, so a pretty tolerable start to the new year around here.
Not too shabby of a week there, Gary.
You're right. Other than that storm on Wednesday, we have to watch.
All right, Gary, thank you.
You're welcome.
We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and check out this photo Brian Allen posted on Facebook. That's Lake Monona. You can see the reflections of the city skyline on the ice. Very cool picture there. Thank you so much for sharing, Brian. What does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it to the Channel 3000 Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and that's how we can pick out our favorites and air them right here on the show. It is one of Madison's favorite holiday traditions, CTM's production of A Christmas Carol. Our Michael Bruno takes us backstage of the production at Overture's Capitol Theater.
Hello, everyone! It's a story about the difference between how Scrooge starts the story, edging his way through life around people and not interacting with anybody and shunning humanity, to becoming a person of the people and walking among them and learning from them and being affected by them and their stories.
Once upon a time, my word, once upon a time belongs to every story. To be sure, this story does.
The thing that I really like about it is there's always a way in which the audience is addressed in it, talking to them like once upon a time, and then the next thing that happened was this, and then the next thing. And so we get to we don't really sit back and watch a lot of bells and whistles and special effects and things like that, but we're really engaged with the art of storytelling the whole way through.
This is an adventure story, a nail-biting adventure story.
My job, I keep thinking, is just to try to inspire my cast to inspire themselves.
A fearful ghost story. This is a rags to riches.
What's engrossing and head and heart-centered about this particular story, so that they become convinced that they're the owners of it. they're the purveyors of this story, and ultimately I can't be here. So that's really my job, is to just make sure that everybody else is able to do their job and is inspired to do it.
A Christmas Carol is at the Capitol Theater at the Overture Center. There is one final showing today, a 2:30 matinee. 7:20 is your time right now. The holiday season means binge eating those holiday sweets. We're all guilty of it. Just ahead, we'll share some tips for people wanting to maintain weight going into the new year. Thanks for watching News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Time now 7:23. We have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night for the possibility for some light snow and freezing rain that could lead to some slippery road surfaces, mainly some minor snow accumulations north of Madison will change over to rain during the day on Thursday. Doppler tracks still showing some flurries in the northern parts of our viewing area. Skies have actually cleared out in the Madison area, but there are more clouds just to our north and west. Temperature trend over the last 24 hours, you can see because of the cloud cover, temperatures started in the mid-20s yesterday morning and have climbed to around freezing now. Current temperatures are right around 30, give or take a degree or two, with wind chills in the teens out to the west of us, and look for those temperatures to continue up into the mid-30s by later this afternoon.
Gary, thank you. 7:24 is your time. It's the season of giving, and while a lot of us give presents over the holidays, some of us may end up giving the flu. With holiday travel, your risk of exposure is heightened. We've had a mild flu season so far, but as we are now in the busy holiday travel time, the flu can easily spread. Doctors say getting your flu shot is the safest way to prevent getting it, but keeping up with hand hygiene is the best way to prevent spreading it, especially for kids.
For every kid that gets influenza, we anticipate that 5 or 6 other people in their immediate surroundings are fairly likely to also be at least exposed to it.
Doctors say it's never too late to get the flu shot. Flu season actually peaks within the next couple of months. Hugging and touching when you see your relatives is common during the holidays, but doctors recommend a fist bump to greet people as a way to help prevent the spread of flu. The FDA has a new warning this morning. Some commonly prescribed antibiotics containing the chemical fluoroquinolone can cause serious heart damage. The agency says these antibiotics can cause ruptures or tears in the main artery. This can lead to dangerous bleeding or even death. People most at risk are older patients and those who have high blood pressure or a history of blockages in the aorta. Health officials say patients who are prescribed these drugs should not stop taking them without talking to a healthcare professional first. Business Insider is out with the latest ranking of the healthiest states. Hawaii tops that list. That's because of its low obesity, smoking, and air pollution. Massachusetts and Connecticut are next, and at the bottom are Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Louisiana has the highest percentage of children in poverty and a higher rate of infectious diseases. Wisconsin landed 23rd on the list. The report says the Badger State had the highest rate of excessive drinking in the country, but also among the lowest uninsured rates, as well as less air pollution than other states. 7:26 right now. Well, we all know the holiday season is a time for family and friends. Not so surprising here, it's also a time for expanding waistlines with all of the parties and dinners. But that doesn't have to be the case. Kim Hutcherson reports.
The average person packs on 1 to 2 pounds during the holiday season. For people looking to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions, here are a few tricks to keep the numbers on the scale from sliding higher during the holiday season. Never show up to a party hungry. Eat breakfast in the morning to control appetite and a healthy snack before heading out so you don't arrive starving. Limit alcohol intake. Cocktails are high in calories, especially sugary holiday drinks. They also increase appetite and decrease inhibition, making you more likely to beeline for the snack table. Skip anything high in sugar and alternate what you do drink with a glass of water. Use a smaller plate. Large plates are associated with weighing more because larger portions increase caloric intake. Studies also show that people who survey a buffet before loading up on food tend to weigh less. This is probably because they took the time to decide what they wanted in advance rather than grabbing everything that looked good. And beware bite-sized treats, which can quickly add up to hundreds of extra calories. And get rid of leftovers. If you're the one throwing the party, add Tupperware to your shopping list. Sending guests home with leftovers will keep you from binging on them. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And if you're a big fan of guac, listen up. You may want to start washing those avocados before you eat them. That's the latest advice from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. While the recommendation may seem odd considering we don't even eat the peel of an avocado, the FDA says it's the only sure way to prevent bacteria and dirt from transferring from the peel to your knife to the insides that we do eat. In a new report, the FDA said about 1 in 5 of every 5 avocados tested positive for a bacteria that can cause listeria. 7:28 this morning. Still ahead in this broadcast, we'll show you how Girl Scouts in western Wisconsin are thanking those who have supported them after tragedy struck their community. Keep watching News 3 This Morning Sunday. Right now on News 3 This Morning Sunday, Girl Scouts in western Wisconsin are thanking those who have supported them after tragedy struck their community.
This is News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Good morning and welcome back to News 3 This Morning Sunday, just after 7:30 on this December 23rd, 2 days away from Christmas. I'm Josh Sprider. Gary has that latest holiday forecast in just a moment, but first here's what's making news this morning. Rescue efforts are underway in Indonesia after hundreds of people were killed following a tsunami. Their disaster management agency says last night's tsunami left at least 222 people dead, 843 injured, and 28 are still missing this morning. Officials expect those numbers to rise. Scientists say the tsunami could have been caused by undersea landslides or those occurring above sea level on the volcano's steep outside slope following the eruption. Right now, it looks like Christmas will be over and done with before the federal government will have a chance to get fully back to business. Even a temporary measure to end a partial shutdown seems out of reach until the Senate returns for a full session Thursday. President Trump wants money for that border wall with Mexico, with Democrats opposing the idea. The partial shutdown began yesterday and has limited impact over the next few days because both Monday and Tuesday are federal holidays. We are now less than 5 hours until kickoff as the Packers have one last chance to earn a win on the road this season. The Pack is 0-7 away from Lambeau Field and have never gone 0-8 on the road since the NFL switched to a 16-game schedule 40 years ago. Aaron Rodgers continues to say he'll start the rest of the season, even though there's no chance of the Pack making the playoffs this year. Their opponent today is the 4-10 New York Jets, who haven't won at home since mid-October. Kickoff is set for noon on Fox. 7:33 right now, and we'll say good morning to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti waking up with us this morning. Hey, Gary.
Good morning, Josh. Things are pretty quiet out there right now. There are a few scattered snow flurries in the northern parts of our viewing area from La Crosse over to Wisconsin Dells, over toward Montello, and then eventually into the Fox Valley. A few of these will drift into southern Wisconsin later on. Now, there is an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night for some light snow and freezing rain that could lead to some minor snow accumulations as well as slippery road conditions. Hopefully that will change over to rain pretty quickly on Thursday morning. This morning, temperatures are right around 30 here in Madison. We're at 31 degrees. A few places in the upper 20s to the south and west of Madison where there have been some breaks in the clouds, but more clouds to our north and west will keep temperatures generally in the lower 30s this morning. Look for cloudy skies through the day, and we'll look for a high temperature of about 35. Again, a few flurries can't be ruled out at some point. Otherwise, we take a look at first alert traffic. Things very quiet this morning, but again, this is one of those busy holiday travel days, one of the busiest of the season. Right now, not seeing any problems on the Beltline or any of the main roads through the Madison area. Heading out of Madison down toward the south and east, I-3990. Looks like there might be a little bit of a delay starting to develop northbound between Stoughton and Madison. I-94 in pretty good shape toward Milwaukee, and then I-39, 90, 94 heading up to Portage, I-39 north of there, and I-90, 94 through the Dells. Right now in very good shape. That's your first alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary. New this morning, Madison police are searching for 2 suspects after a robbery at McDonald's. Police say it happened just before 11 last night at the McDonald's on Regent Street. The 2 suspects had their faces covered, went into the McDonald's, and ran to the back office where they grabbed some money and ran out of the restaurant. Police say no one was injured and no weapon was shown. Also new overnight, 1 suspect is in custody and police are searching for another after an attempted home burglary. Police say it happened around 9:45 on Gulfcrest Street. Madison police say the homeowner saw 2 people going through his vehicle in his garage, and that's when he chased the suspects and was able to catch one. The homeowner saw the other suspect holding what he thought was a gun and yelling to let go of his friend. The homeowner did not, and when officers arrived on scene, they took that suspect into custody. Police are still searching for the other suspect. Today is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the year. Wednesday, the day after Christmas, is going to be another busy one. AAA expects a record-breaking 112 million of us to travel this holiday week. That's more than 1/3 of all Americans. An improving economy and cheap gas prices are the main reasons AAA expects more people to travel. In Madison, a gallon of regular is at about $2.12 this morning. That's down overnight, but some prices as low as $2.03 per gallon depending on where you stop. Janesville is even seeing prices below $2 this morning. Right now, postal workers are doing their best to get those Christmas packages delivered on time. According to USPS, this is the busiest week for mailing, shipping, and delivery. More than 200 million packages are expected to be delivered. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, last-minute packages fill carrier bags and trucks as they tag along with mail carriers like Kayla Lightnin.
Big time. I mean, you go from having, usually pretty close to an 8-hour day every day, and then you're tacking on a couple hours that day. It gets pretty wild.
The U.S. Postal Service asks that you keep your porch lights on to make this busy time of year a little easier for them. A fundraiser through the Madison Metropolitan School District has raised enough money to pay off all negative school lunch balances. It was started by the HR department with staff hoping to raise $500 on their Facebook fundraiser. That goal was quickly met, and as of this morning, donations stand at more than $25,000. The money will go to paying off the free and reduced lunch balances for more than 1,500 students. You can also help donate to negative food accounts at any time by contacting the district. And some more good news here. The Lodi Public Library will be reopening the day after Christmas. It has been closed since December 12th when mold damage was found during a remodel of the basement. A professional mold removal team was hired immediately to address the issue. They say the most recent air quality tests came back clean. This morning, Girl Scouts in the Chippewa Valley are thanking those who have supported them after tragedy struck their community. Back in early November, the lives of 3 Girl Scouts and a mother were taken after they were hit while picking up garbage on the side of the road near Chippewa Falls. It's a day many will never forget, and now care packages, blankets, quilts, and other donations are piling in for those Girl Scouts.
Makes me really happy, and it's good to know how many people care.
It makes me feel happy that so many people are trying to support us, and it's just not about the gifts they give us, it's about what, like the cards and stuff, what they keep saying and trying to support us.
And it wasn't just the U.S. showing support. They've heard from people across the globe, from Canada to Singapore. 7:38 right now, still ahead this morning. It's one of those cars that's been around for a very long time. It's the 2019 Toyota Corolla, and we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs when News 3 This Morning Sunday returns.
Time right now is 7:42. We have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night for light snow and freezing rain that could lead to slippery roads as well as some minor snow accumulations. No snow accumulations expected today, but some flurries can't be ruled out. Already seeing some around the La Crosse area and over toward the Fox Valley. Current temperatures are right around 30, give or take a degree or two either side of that. Wind chills right now, not too bad, but as the winds pick up, we'll see those wind chills drop into the 20s and in some cases even into the teens. Temperatures over the next 12 hours climbing into the middle 30s by around 3 p.m. and then dropping off a little more rapidly as skies clear out later on tonight. That is your first alert forecast.
Thank you, Gary. The Toyota Corolla is the best-selling car of all time with more than 45 million sold since it was introduced in 1966. The 2019 model is part of the 11th generation. Our Mark Hain goes behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs to check it out.
Toyota Corolla.
Yes.
Still around.
Still around and will still be around even after this generation is done. This is the 2019. It's the 11th generation of the Corolla. They've been around since 1966 and sold 46 million of these worldwide. This is an economy car. You buy it for really 3 reasons. You buy it because it's not expensive to own and operate. It'll run forever. And it'll hold its value really well. And that's why you buy a Corolla or a Camry.
Not a big back seat, but it's a compact car.
It's a compact car, and if you look at this, I've got that seat set to where I like it. I'm comfortable here. So yeah, my knees are up against it, but it's not.
You got headroom?
I've got headroom and I can sit back here. This car surprised me. I've driven a lot of different cars and I've driven Corollas over the years and I hadn't driven a Corolla sedan in a while. And I got this car and it's the SE version, which is fairly highly contented, and started driving it around and went, wow, it's solid, it's substantial, it feels good.
And you were surprised?
Yeah, I was. I expected, in my mind, Corolla is inexpensive and maybe a little tinny and all that other stuff, but, it's solid, it's quiet, it has a very, confident feel on the road. You take it over rumble strips and things, and it's not incredibly rough. It actually is really good in this category.
Surface is good?
Surfaces are good. I mean, we're talking about an economy car here. And what you have are, good soft touch surfaces. This is a leather trim steering wheel. That's actual leather right here. And even things like the shift knob and that feel very high quality. Yeah, they use plastic, but it feels, they use it the right way.
And how much are we talking?
This car, as it sits, is about $23,000. So, and we're getting near the top of the range at that price point. But you can get into a Corolla for about $18,000.
But $23,000 includes a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you've got, first of all, every Toyota product, including the base Corolla, includes what they call Toyota Safety Sense P, which includes adaptive cruise control, which you can't get on a $50,000 GMC pickup. It has lane keep assist. It has forward collision with, with pedestrian detection. So all those safety features.
All standard.
All standard.
You're getting a lot of content for that amount of money.
Yeah, you are. And that's always been the Corolla story. And it's interesting because, it may not be the least expensive car in the category, but when you compare what you get for what you pay, it is very competitive at that when you start throwing these types of features into a Kia or a Hyundai or a Honda.
7:45 is your time. Still ahead this morning. We're just 2 days away from Christmas. Can you believe it? And all eyes remain on that forecast. Here's a live look outside this morning as we wake up. The sun is shining bright. Gary has an updated look at that holiday weekend forecast coming up. But first, happy birthday to all of these kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Well, it's a pretty quiet start to the Christmas holiday season. Here's a guy who looks right at home. Putts in Columbus. Our pet walk photo for today, temperature about 35 degrees at 3 o'clock with just a few scattered flurries. But we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday night for the possibility for some light snow, freezing rain that could lead to slippery roads as well as some minor snow accumulations, mainly north of Madison. That will change over to rain during the day on Thursday. So hopefully it shouldn't linger too long for people who are traveling Wednesday night. Doppler track showing some snow flurries mainly through central and northern Wisconsin, some out toward the Fox Valley. Looks like the next batch moving through the La Crosse area and extends back into southeastern Minnesota. A few of these flurries could linger into early this evening before skies clear out overnight. If you're looking for a white Christmas, you're not going to find it here, even in the northern parts of the state where there is a little bit of snow on the ground. It's not very much. Computer models indicate the snow for the end of the week in the Thursday, Friday time frame will stay mainly to the north of us. We could get a little bit on the tail end, but there could be several inches according to the U.S. GFS computer model in the northern portion of Wisconsin. The European computer model, much more snow indicated there, with perhaps up to a foot in the far northern part of the state. So that does bear some watching if you do have travel plans later in the week, especially Thursday and Friday up into northern Wisconsin. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Skies have actually cleared out pretty nicely here, but there are clouds just to our north. Temperature is 31. The winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour, so there's really no wind chill to speak of. Fairly big storm system in the northwestern part of the country, bringing heavy snows into the mountains and some rain along the coast. Much of the rest of the country very quiet right now. The jet stream winds basically in a west to east pattern, bringing in a little colder air, but that'll stay mainly in the northern parts of the Midwest. So our temperatures still slightly above average. We should be looking at high temperatures in the upper 20s, and we're looking at readings that'll mainly be in the 30s for the next couple of days and some 40s on Thursday and Friday ahead of that approaching storm system. 31 right now in Madison, a little colder to the north and west, but you can see on future track the clouds mainly through Wisconsin with the flurry chances tonight, and then we clear out for tonight, and then for tomorrow, Christmas Eve, look for sunny skies. The next weather system perhaps bringing us some light snow on Christmas Day, and then that's followed by the bigger storm system developing out to the west, and that'll be here for Wednesday and Thursday. Look for temperatures to stay in the 30s. The skies turn cloudy later this morning with a few flurries. Temperature climbing to around 35 this afternoon with a flurry chance lingering into at least this afternoon, maybe into this evening with a low of 21. Skies will clear out later on. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, high of 33 with sunny skies. Some flurries tomorrow night, and then Christmas Day, cloudy with some light snow, high 36. That could be mixed with a little bit of rain in the afternoon. As we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures in the 40s for Thursday and Friday. Again, that alert day mainly for Wednesday night. Then after the storm, you can see those temperatures cooling off, and that will lead the rain to change back to snow on Friday night into Saturday. Could lead to a minor accumulation there. And then pretty quiet for the New Year's holiday right now. Temperatures around 30 on New Year's Eve and 25 on New Year's Day. Probably mid-20s for the New Year's revelers if you're outside right at midnight.
We stay so quiet for such a long time, and then of course this week is when it kind of gets a little bit more active.
Well, you know, any kind of a disruption in the weather is going to lead to some travel problems. Hopefully it's not too bad around here.
All right, Gary, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay with News 3 this weekend. Tonight at 5:30 and 10, we'll take you inside the Wisconsin Crime Lab here in Madison. But first this morning, it was an early Christmas for a Texas football team. The video you won't want to miss when News 3 This Morning Sunday continues. Welcome back to News 3 this morning. Christmas came early for one football team in Texas. Check this out. This Division I high school football matchup. Ducanville leading North Shore by 1 point. Final play of the game. Quarterback Demetrius Davis Jr. steps up and airs out the Hail Mary pass. It's caught by A.J. Carter for the win. North Shore wins the state championship 41-36 in heroic fashion. I always love those endings.
Yeah, especially at the high school level. I mean, look at that. I mean, you couldn't have drawn that up any better.
Wow.
Right in the middle of it.
Merry Christmas to them. That is a good Christmas present.
Yeah, my college, Northern Illinois University, went to the Chimichurri Bowl. I forget who even the sponsor was for it, but it was. But they ended up losing by about 2 touchdowns.
Oh
so
boy!
They could have used more than a Hail Mary there. We can use some more of this quiet weather, at least for the next few days. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s as we head through Christmas. Again, sunny skies tomorrow. Some light snow on Christmas might lead to some minor snow accumulations. An alert day for Wednesday night for some freezing rain and snow chances. That will change to rain on Thursday and Friday, then back to snow Friday night into Saturday. Maybe some minor accumulations there. Should be quiet for the New Year's holiday.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for waking up with us here, helping for Chris.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow morning on News 3 This Morning.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.